for me, they ain't clapping for me. I'm only saying, can somebody just be happy for me? I really hate to say I told you so I bite my tongue, but you know.
Your favorite mystic's favorite mystic. You are traveling with the Hood Mystic. Time to tap in now. Your favorite astrologer's favorite astrologer. You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic.
Peace to the tribe, peace to the collective. It's the Hood Mystic, representing hoodmystic.com, whiterabbitsite.com, columbianexchange.com. Today, we're going to continue a conversation that we've been having over the past couple of days. So if you want a more of a refresher or a backdrop of the conversation that I'm having today, please refer to those previous Hood in the Mornings. Now, even though it's 1:46 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, somewhere in the world, it is the morning. And for that, we are doing an episode of Hood in the Morning. Just want to thank y'all for joining me. And really want to just say, yeah, man, I appreciate you. And you can support this channel in many various ways. One of the main ways you can support this channel is by liking the video, being an active member in the chat. Say what's up to me. I'll say what's up back. What up, Philip? And yeah, man, we just gonna get into this thing, right? And I just really want to dive into it because there's a lot of things that I want to talk about. And one of the main topics that I want to address is the topic of love versus power. Now, if you don't understand the idealization and the ideation of what you want out of life, do you want love? Do you want power, or a balance of the two? Then you might seek love. But if you have an abundance of love, 100% love, you are very weak. Some people want power. And if you have 100% powder, some of y'all stay off that powder. First things first, stay off the powder. But if you want 100% power, you are very brutal. Give me 1 second. One second. That's all I need. Peace, Nicole. Peace, Brandy. Hope everybody is in the proper energy that they really need and really desire. Having children is a very interesting pursuit in life. Sometimes you got to tell the motherfuckers to shut the hell up, but y'all didn't need to hear that, all right? Y'all didn't need to hear me say that, because y'all would have been looking at me funny. Because I know, for instance, y'all never tell y'all kids shut the hell up. Right, y'all don't ever tell y'all kids shut the hell up, do y'all? Y'all is good Christian folks. All right, so just want to say, to reiterate, don't want to get thrown off this morning. To reiterate, right? 100% love is weak. 100% power is brutal. So if you stay on the spectrum of power, then you're going to control people, manipulate people, and they're not going to like you, right? If you love a person, if you a man and you love this woman with all your heart, she's going to view you as weak. So we need to find a proper balance of love and power. And this is where we get into the science of spiritual development, self-realization, and also the ability to channel the divine. You cannot channel the divine if you are burdened with your emotions ideas, ambitions, plans, everything that you want to do so bad. Well, when spirit is talking to you, you're going to ignore it because you're going to fixate on your goal. You're going to fixate on your ambition. At what point do you allow your soul to lead? And that is a real power. That is real love. And so this is going to be the setting of this conversation now that we're in a particular world of understanding spiritual things. The setting is going to be, where am I at on the spectrum of love and power? Am I just completely in the realms of love? Now I understand why I feel so weak and powerless. Am I just completely trying to have power and control in my life? Now I understand why I don't have no friends. Why don't nobody like me? Because every time I'm around them, I'm trying to manipulate them or control them and make them do what I want them to do. And if they don't do what I want them to do, then I find it better to just be alone. I find it better to just isolate and be with myself. So neither one of these spectrums and extremes are good. Even like some people might think that if they have an abundance amount of love, that their problems will be solved, but never realizing that you are so weak and powerless, and yeah, everybody loves you, but what can you do with that? Can you go to McDonald's and get a double cheeseburger with all the love you received? Can you go to McDonald's and get a double cheeseburger if 1 million people like the video, subscribe to the channel, tell you, Hood Mystic, I love the video that you did? This was one of my favorite videos, Hood. Could I go to McDonald's and say, Charmaine said that my last video I did on YouTube was her favorite video of all time? No. So in order for me to actually make some money, I got to actually put things out that convert to sales, or else I'm going to be really, really fucked up out here in these streets, because a lot of people love me. I can't take that love to the bank. I can't deposit that love into my business bank account. I can't file my taxes at the end of the year with the IRS with all of the people that love me so dearly, because I'm spitting out this spiritual hot fire. At a certain point, I had to move the needle to the middle and say, it's cool that y'all love me. I love you too. But have you been drinking your teas regularly? Man, I swear to God, all of y'all have bought steams once, but you haven't bought steams again. So at what point do you buy soap one time, love the soap, but then don't no longer buy the soap? And if that is the case, then you will revert to your dirty skin self. Now, y'all buy soap every month, every 2 months. Some of y'all get the value pack. But what I'm talking now is your pussy. How you only gonna steam it one time because it's a trend, because it's a fad, but then you walking around here with unsteamed cooch. And I know the reason why you walking around here with unsteamed cooch, because a man is not ever going to say, I'm not going to get in this pussy unless you steam it. Man is going to get into that pussy whether you steam it or not. But we're not talking about what men like or what men don't like. We're talking about your mental health. And one of the main reasons in part of this conversation, we can reference hysteria, where our divine feminine can be so disconnected from their womb that they don't see themselves as divine spiritual beings in real life. Not in a sense of ego, to whereas if I'm a spiritual being, then I'm a boss ass bitch, 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 bitch. I'm a boss ass bitch, bitch, bitch. No, not in that aspect. But divine as in you see who you are as a spiritual being and you understand your archetype. What is your motto? Are you a goddess? Are you an oracle? Are you a priestess? Are you an empress? Are you a witch? And here y'all go. I'm all of that. I'm all of that. No, we're not going to do that. What is your animal? Because if you understand your animal, you will be able to tap into your power. Are you a bunny? Are you a deer? Are you an eagle? Imagine if you wanted some dick right now. The energy that you wanted to get into is the energy of the bunny. You know, a nigga's gonna love to want to fuck a bunny. You might switch up the energy. You walk past your baby daddy who was ignoring you for the past 6 months. Throw on some bunny ears. Put a little bunny tail in your back and hop around the motherfucking crib like this. And just nibble. He'll be dogging that pussy so fast you don't know what hit you. He hit you. You understand? What is your archetype? What is your animal? Now, once you get into your animal, study your animal. This is a message that I got from Oshun earlier. So this is a thing. Like, none of the shit that I be saying a lot of times, it be me saying it. That's why I've been doing videos the past couple of days, because the channel's been lit. Now, I don't give a fuck if you listen, understand it, know what the fuck I'm talking about, because those with ears is going to hear, those with eyes is going to see. Who are you? Is the question that I ask. Because y'all know exactly what you don't want. You know exactly who you not, what you don't play with, who you not to be played with. You know everything about nothing. Because if I ask you, what's your archetype? What is your spiritual profession? What is your spirit animal? Now you all of the archetypes. Now you all of the spiritual professions. Now you all of the animals. You a shapeshifter now. When we talk about spiritual development and we talk about living a spiritual life, the clearer you get on who you are spiritually, the better your life becomes. Now, if what I said just made sense, can y'all throw some ones in the chat? Because I want you to have a better life. I want you to have more peace. I want you to have more finances. I want you to be in a level of bliss, but you're not going to get that by spending money with me or spending money with anybody. You must recognize who you are spiritually. Take the time, energy, and effort. Because whatever idea you have on who you are spiritually is right and exact, because it's in the realm of imagination. Now, it is your job to take that imagination and bring it into material universe. But who are you spiritually? Who is your animal? What is your archetype? And if you say all of them, just I don't know what to tell you. You're just going to piss me off when you say all of them. Just know that. Well, I don't know. Just whatever. I don't know what animal I'm is. I don't know what animal I'm is. I don't know my archetype, hood. Well, can you think of something? What do you imagine yourself to be? I don't know. I just don't really be imagining shit. Okay, well, if you can't imagine nothing, then this spiritual journey is going to be a rough journey for you. If you can't even think in the level of fantasy or illusion or something, like, you know everything about your baby daddy. You know the girls he be texting. You know how long he be at the gym. You know about his last baby mama. You well adept in your baby daddy, but when it comes to your archetype, you know, the energy and effort that it took. Say, for instance, your man left his phone unlocked right next to you, and it was open to the DMs. And then the DMs had a whole bunch of bitches' faces and threads. You would open the motherfucking DM threads and read every single thread with energy, taking notes. No, you wouldn't even take notes. You will remember everything that was exchanged in the motherfucking DMs. But if I tell you to read up on a book about spirituality, you motherfucking hoes is too busy. Got too much shit going on. You know the kids. I got to take care of the kids. But if my Instagram is open and you see a DM from Charmaine and you see a squirt emoji as the last emoji, you gonna open that DM so fast. You gonna read that shit with so much energy. Your photographic memory is going to unlock. You gonna remember everything you read in them text messages. But if I ask you what your archetype is, what your spirit animal is, all of the energy leaves the room. Now you confused. Now it's difficult. Now it's hard. Now it's like, well, shit, man, I don't know. But then in the next very breath, you're going to complain and compare yourself to somebody who is probably doing the work. If they're getting the results that they want to get out of life, they probably doing the work. And what is this work, you might ask? Self-realization. It's some things that y'all grown adult ass is going to have to realize to even get into a space of self-realization, because a lot of y'all can't even take care of yourselves. When we talk about spirituality, it's at the top of the pyramid. So I go through phases. I've been on YouTube. I done had about 5 homes since I've been on YouTube. Like I've had about legit 5 different places that I moved to. I now have moved to a different city, and now I'm in a new home in the same city that I moved to. But now that I'm in this home, my next home that I'm working on is the farm. My goal is in the next 2 years to be out this house that I'm in now, live in this home, stack my money, and then in 2 years, I want to live in a farm. I want to have a farm. So that's what I'm working towards in like right now, right? But with all of that being said, I have a place to stay. Now, if I didn't have a place to stay, and if I was homeless, she's homeless, he's homeless, I would not be doing YouTube videos, because I would have nothing to say to the niggas, because the only thing I need to worry about is my safety needs, right? Now, if I couldn't get up, go to the gym, exercise, do the things that I need to do for my body, then it's going to be a cap on my whole sense of my whole disposition. This is why I say, like, I'm so grateful for shadow work, because the first realization that I got when I started doing shadow work is, your fat ass need to hit the gym. This is getting out of control. You don't need to say shit to nobody till you go work out. And it's been about maybe 1.5 years of just like getting back in the gym, getting healthy, diet, all of this, because all of this is important to your spiritual development. You're not, and you could argue with me all you want to, but I guarantee you, versus your sanity and your spiritual development, if you begin to have a proper diet and exercise versus eating whatever the fuck you want and not dealing with your body, your sanity, peace of mind is going to be better once you begin to exercise and eat right. These are your physiological needs. The problem with spirituality and spiritual people is that they exacerbate or speed up your spiritual development just because you spent money with them. So if you buy a course, that means that in your mind you are doing the work to become spiritual. But if you spend $1,000 with me and you're not able to pay your rent, and you homeless because of a spiritual person, well, that person isn't spiritual at all, and you are in the realms of being spiritual till you begin to self-realize, self-actualize. But if you are not able to take care of yourself, if you a bum, if you living on somebody's couch, if you living with your mama, if you never had a job, and when you get a job, you work for 2 or 3 days, don't think that you so spiritual. Don't think that because your mama is paying your rent that your ancestors is looking out for you. Because this is not about who gets the most from the world. It's about who sees themselves the most, seeing yourself the most and the deepest, and who does not project. So when your mother is paying your rent, when your boyfriend or husband is paying your rent, you are projecting your God force energy on your husband or your boyfriend. Because if you knew your archetype as a divine feminine, just say it's a witch, and you knew your spirit animal, just say it was a crow, you would then do witchy things, and you would live. A crow is one of the smartest animals in the animal kingdom. You would go to the library, get all of the books you can find on crows. You would read those books, take notes on books, because now you're understanding your nature. And while your husband is at work, you are then doing spells and witchcraft to help your husband with the bills. But if you do not, and I'm going to tell you, and I can't mince words, I got to tell you straight. If you don't know who you are clearly, what your archetype is, and this is straight from Oshun, if you are a divine feminine, you don't know your archetype, you don't know your spiritual profession, you don't know your spiritual animal, then you are nothing but a burden to a man. Nothing but a burden. And all of your emotions, all of your going through your phone, and the arguments and the discontent with the men in your life is just a projection of you not doing the work of knowing yourself. If that was clear, please put 1 in the chat, because I'm doing this, I'm saying this so you can realize some stuff. But if you don't realize what I'm saying, maybe I just need to say it again and just understand the channel a little bit more deeply, because the channel came this morning as I was doing my errands. So, belongingness and love needs. I know we want to be in our personal space and in our personal understanding about everything, but we have no tribe. We have no community. We have nobody that can vouch for us in real life. And the problem with that is that the things you're thinking and the emotions that you're feeling are biases. Biases when you are presented with new information. You will not learn it because the new information challenges your biases. So instead of expanding and growing through your community, through your tribe, you isolate and section yourself off, go to work, collect those direct deposits, pay the rent, and the cycle continues. If you're in that realm of life, you don't reach the top of the pyramid. You exist in your physiological needs, your safety needs. You have a place to stay. You're paying your bills. But you don't know who you are because, one, you don't know who you are, and people are not vouching for you. You have no tribe. You have no community. If I Google your name, nothing is going to come up. Nobody has sewn into your business. You haven't created a foundation, a donation. You're not a part of any community. No board of directors. You don't know how to build community. You don't have any network of people that you build with, and you're an incel or a femcel. You're unable to relate to people because all you can do is project. And what are you specifically projecting? In the realms of this conversation, you're only projecting your inability to know self. So this is why how could you deal with someone, right? If you've never did the spiritual work to know yourself and you project that on another person, and this happens all the time when you love somebody and they are unable to be loved, you keep trying to love them. Keep trying to love them, keep trying to build with them. But what you don't know is that that person has a hole in the bottom of their cup. So you keep pouring into their ass. You pour your whole life into them. You married to this person that is broken with a hole in the bottom of their cup, and you keep pouring into them. Your girlfriend, your boyfriend is broken. You keep pouring into him. You keep pouring into her. The results are in. There is no water in the cup. Why? Because they're broken. Why are they broken? They don't know their archetype. They don't know what they should be doing spiritually. They don't know their animal totem. An animal totem. I said the women, bunny, deer, it's some masculine, feminine type animals, praying mantis, Venus flytrap, things of those natures. You could be a vicious, feminine entity or creature if you want to tap into that. Males, are you a bear? Are you a tiger? Are you a lion? Are you a fucking coyote? Are you a fucking hyena? What are you? Me personally, I'm a wolf. I know that. So I'm a lone wolf, right? I'm a lone wolf. That is my archetype. And it's been times where I've done had sex with women and it's like a wolf has imprinted. A girl said, when you was making love to me last night, I felt like a wolf imprinted on me, but I don't know what that means. I was like, I don't know what that means too. It's like I was 19, 20, very young. And I Googled, like, that's what a wolf does. He imprints himself on a female wolf. So even if she have children with another man, it's still his kids. That's what an imprint is. But see, the animal kingdom is like the adult kingdom. So your first baby daddy is the daddy of all your kids, or whoever is the alpha that had kids with you. That's all your, like, no matter if you have a different baby daddy, that's that all your kids gonna have some DNA of that man. And it's like, well, it happened in the animal kingdom, but it don't happen in the human kingdom. As long as you want to believe that, cool. But if you don't understand your archetype and you don't understand your animal, you probably don't want to be imprinted by a wolf. You probably want to be imprinted by a bunny or a hare. That's a male rabbit. Like, it's some hare, little short fucking, is, you know, them short niggas be in some pussy, Jack. You think, oh, that's a little short nigga. He ain't, man, them niggas, man, you do not sleep on them hares. Motherfucker, Jack Rabbit, trickster ass little nigga, little Kevin Hart nigga. Kevin Hart, Lil Duval, them is little hares, little rabbits, right? They don't have no problem with women. See, you could be a short nigga and thinking like, damn, I wish I was like a bear. But no, you just need to be a rabbit. If you tap into your trickster rabbit energy, you gonna be a playboy. Hugh Hefner wasn't no macho man. He was a little short, skinny, scrawny nigga. Had all the hoes. But he knew his animal. What was his animal? The bunny, the hare, the trickster. Millionaire, billionaire, and White Rabbit psychedelics. Hugh Hefner came to me like, yeah, man, you gonna do this bunny shit. You gonna make a lot of money with this damn bunny. I said, you know, Hugh, I ain't never know money and bunny rhymed. It rhymed like a motherfucker, though. Man, that shit is smooth. That goddamn bunny, nigga. That goddamn bunny. I fucks with it. You put the rabbit on it, it start fertilizing. It start getting some goddamn money about yourself. I can't knock it. You know what I'm saying? It worked for me. It worked for me. So all of this to say, your attraction is more into knowing who you are so deeply spiritually. So very deeply spiritually that it's like you know so clearly who you are. You know your energy, you know your animal, you know your spirit, and this gets you into the realms of meeting people, dealing with people in your authentic nature, because now you know what you bring into the table, you know what you offer. I'm a jackrabbit. I'm gonna fuck you like a jackrabbit. We gonna have 20 kids. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you want, that's what I want. We're gonna work out. We're gonna work out powerfully, right? And so, fully in a space like now, you getting into a space where it's people in your life that love you for you, right? And we're talking about self-actualization, self-realization on a spiritual level, reaching the top of this pyramid in a space where I've been in this shit for a long time. And the majority of y'all is tricked out of your spirituality because all you do is project it. And then when we reference the work that it takes to self-realize, it's too hard, it's too difficult, or you're too busy. But at a certain point, when you have the time, and I'm going to show you, you're going to have the time eventually. When you have the time, these are the steps to self-actualizing, seeing who you are. It's the true purpose of life. On the temple walls, it says, know thyself, not start an e-commerce brand, not make money, not buy a house, not have 2 cars or 2-car garage. Know thyself is the mystery. So the esteem comes from being who you authentically are and everybody recognizing that and you showing up as that. Who you are spiritually, not who you pretend to be, not who people have projected on you to be, not the energy that you've projected onto others, but who have you seen yourself to be? Who have you imagined yourself to be? And what work have you done to self-actualize and self-realize? If you fixate on that, that is your work. However, it's going to be hard because, many people be just mad at their baby dad, right? That's the general consensus of how this shit works out. It's all about how this nigga ain't shit, how this girl ain't shit, how she broke my heart. And I hate to see y'all heartbroken for no damn reason. At what point did you love your soul? So we're talking about paradoxes right now. And one of the chief paradoxes that are showing up in the sky is Venus opposed Pluto. And we're going to bring this topic back up because we talked about it on Monday, but we're going to talk about it again because the moon is conjunct Pluto. So we have an exact opposition of Venus and the moon today, right? So we're going to reiterate, or we're going to rethink about this or readjust this in our subconscious mind. And we're going to bring forth a paradox. And I'm going to explain what a paradox is, and then I'm going to talk about this specific paradox. So what is a paradox? Let's blow it up so we can read together. A seemingly absurd or self-contradictory statement. So right off the bat, a paradox is you look good today in those leggings. That is not absurd. That is a matter of fact. All of the niggas is going to stand behind you. We going to come to a consensus. She look good in those leggings, don't you? Yep, she does look good in those leggings. She sure do look good in those leggings. Yep. That is not a paradox. A paradox is, since you wearing those leggings tonight, I feel like me and you is going to make a baby. Those leggings that you wearing tonight, we going to have a son, right? You wearing the type of leggings that I don't even know if them leggings is that they kind of brown and you brown And all they doing is jiggling, sis. They not like, I'm wearing pants too, but my pants ain't jiggling like your pants is jiggling. I think that we gonna make a baby. Now, she might say, that is seemingly absurd in a self-contradictory statement, cause boy, we ain't got no baby, and I ain't even give you no pussy. But 9 months later, right, and we got a baby, what I said, even though it was crazy, turned out to be true. Cause I was fantasizing about them leggings. She was ovulating. I ain't watched porn in 2 weeks. And she gave me that ass when she was ovulating. I've been thinking about them leggings. I didn't even pull the leggings down. I ripped a hole in the middle. And I gave it to her the whole night, and she had those leggings on, right? Now I done got her. Now we having a baby. That's a paradox. Cause how the hell you know that? Now I could have gave her the details. See, you got a period tracker. I got a period tracker too. So when you menstruated, I had it on a 2-week timer, and I saved up my nut. Just so happened that you was wearing those leggings on the same day you was ovulating, and that's all I needed. So when I told you we was gonna have a baby 9 months later, I knew exactly what I was talking about. You just didn't know I knew what I was talking about. This is why it's a paradox. Okay? Trying to explain a paradox is almost a paradox within itself, but one's in the chat if I did a good job of explaining what a paradox is. A seemingly absurd or self-contradictory statement or proposition, when investigated or explained, may prove to be well-founded or true. Okay? So we can't just go off of what naturally seems easy to sound. So many times when I talk in paradoxes because I've done a lot of spiritual work. I've read books, written books, taken notes, so I can say some real wild shit. And the more you research it, you be like, damn. You know how many times I gotta be talking to my wife and she come back 2 days later like, yeah, when you was saying that shit, you was exactly right. But when you said it, it was seemingly absurd and a self-contradictory statement. And usually we not prepared to deal with paradoxes. We want it straight to be, I'm a good person and I'm here to take care of you and love you for the rest of your life. And you want me to just do that every day. So when you're not prepared for a paradox, it can almost seem like it's knocking you off of something. However, when you understand that this whole thing is a paradox, whereas you are a spiritual being having a human experience, that is the paradox that we need to investigate. That is the paradox that we need to explain. That is this paradox that the longer you research the fact that you are in fact a spiritual being, not a human being, but a spiritual being that is having a human experience, this is how you resolve all of your issues and problems. Because your spiritual beingness is not just some haphazard type of energy. It is your magic. It is your magnetism. It is your wealth. It is your love. It is everything that is right and exact. It is found within you. Seemingly absurd and self-contradictory, because if it is within you and it has always been within you, why the fuck are you living in a studio apartment? Why ain't no niggas checking for you? Why have you made mistake after mistake after mistake? Because you've thought you were a human being and that you could buy spirituality from a grifter online. You didn't think that you had to actually do the work to figure this aspect out. Really separate from the human experience and get into your spiritual being through self-actualization, self-realization. You need to investigate your spirituality. You need to explain your spirituality to prove it. Now, if I tell you I'm a wolf and I fuck you like a wolf, you're probably going to say, nah, that nigga's a wolf. I ain't going to lie. If you bounce around like a bunny and you give me some pussy and it feel like, damn, you must be a bunny for real, then you might be a bunny. And who knew that a wolf and a bunny was so goddamn compatible? If you're a bee, a queen bee, where's your worker bees? Don't tell me you Oshun and you a queen bee and then you say, well, I got to do everything by myself. Cap, you have not investigated or explained what it is that you are a spiritual being. Like, what is your spiritual being? This takes investigation. This takes explanation. So this is the hard part of this particular aspect. Because what are we talking about when we say Venus in Cancer? Venus in Cancer represents the love of the soul. Because the first deacon of Cancer is the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is the love tarot card. Venus, the planet of love and beauty. We got to ultimately understand that beauty is not external. Beauty is 150% internal. Internal by the things that you eat. You out here eating like y'all have the nastiest of diets. Will eat beef, pork, chicken, but then put on makeup to cover up your zits and your pimples from eating all the grease and eating all the sugar. Sometimes y'all just don't even give a fuck about y'all skin and just say fuck it. In reference to the internal, which is the water intake, the hydration, the cleansing of the gut, is the how you show up with a clear and pure face. It is not makeup that does that. Makeup covers up your face. So you can't say that when I throw on makeup, I'm beautiful. No, you can say when I eat correctly, when I hydrate correctly, when I cleanse correctly, when I purify correctly, then I feel beautiful internally. And that internal beauty shows up externally. You don't buy beauty. Beauty is not an Ulta Beauty. That is not actual beauty. That is a business. Right? So love of the soul is the real beauty. The patience and the energy that you take to truly self-realize and self-actualize, to really build up a network, to know who you are as a spiritual being. That's how you actually love yourself. And for you to show up for your family, for your community, for your tribe as you are, and then benefit others as others benefit you, that's true love, right? But we're also dealing with a different paradox, because the love of the soul is going to change your physical reality. And I'm going to explain this so clearly, but I'm going to just set the table. In a minute, we're going to eat. But I really want us to understand the process of spiritual development, why it occurs, and why you getting your ass kicked out here on these streets. All right? It's a reason why you getting your ass kicked. It's not some random occurrence as to why you getting your ass kicked, believe it or not. So give me 1 second. I got 2 more slides to get to. But this first slide, we're going to present the problem. And then on the second slide, we're going to present the solution. All right? So make sure you got on your thinking caps. Make sure you are ready to take notes and understand something that maybe you haven't understood yet. All right? So we have 2 pictures here. We have the ego and we have the shadow. We have a rich and successful couple on the left, and we have a poor, struggling couple on the right. All right? But we're going to use our imagination. We're going to say both of these couples are the same couples, right? Like that Drake song, started from the bottom, now we here. Okay, so today we're going to be pulling from Owning the Shadow from Robert A. Johnson. Is one of the books that you must read. It's on Scribd, so all you need is $6 a month, and you will have access to this book. You don't need to buy it, and you'll have access to a million other books. Maybe some books on trying to figure out what your spirit animal is, studying that spiritual animal so you can understand your spiritual powers. You could be a multitude of different animals. It's called chimerism. Google it. Chimerism. But right now we're talking about paradoxes. So I'm going to read these from the book, and then I'm going to try to explain them, because I had to read over these. Like, I'm even going to tell y'all how many times I had to read over these for this shit to make sense to me. And I had to read it like an old white man in 1940 writing a book, and then think of it as a black nigga in 2023. So reading these came up with these images, right? Rich, just imagine what we want out of life: to be rich, famous, have jewels, right? Have everything we want. Your man's got a fresh lineup, things of that nature. None of us having a fucked up situation right now. We're about to resolve it through the miracle of a paradox. Because what did I say? You are a spiritual being having a human experience. And the time that you spend understanding who you are as a spiritual being, the easier your life is. Now, you don't naturally pick up to this, because what you naturally do, family, is follow the ego. So we watching MTV, we watching movies, we listening to music, and we saying, I want to be rich and famous like everybody else, right? This is what we want to do. So we can do one or two things. We can try to get what we want externally, or we can figure out how to become the person to get the things that we want externally. And we usually go for the first thing versus the second thing. So the miracle of paradox, to transfer our energy from opposition. So what is the opposition? Venus opposed Pluto to a paradox. What is a paradox? A paradox is something that is completely absurd, that the love of your soul could change your physical reality versus the love of the physical reality is going to do something for your soul. It will never work like that, because there's too many people with Bentley Beamers and Benzes that don't give a fuck about their spirit. So the love of the physical reality is just going to be the love of the physical reality. However, when we decide to love our soul, that will ultimately give us what we need out of life. So that is the paradox. The opposition is, how do we get what we want out of life? How do we get a fresh lineup? How do we get the jewels? And most of us are spending our lives really battling with our ambitions, goals, what we want, and then judging ourselves whether we have accomplished our goals or not in the external. But when it comes to self-realization, figuring out who you are spiritually, you don't give a fuck about that. You know, you're like, whatever, I ain't got time, I'm busy, right? So we rather live in the opposition versus getting to the investigation or understanding, how in the hell could this opposition be true? So to transfer our energy from an opposition to a paradox is a very large leap in evolution. Okay? If you're able to simply figure out who you are, you will be leaps and bounds ahead of everybody around you. And not to brag, not to boast, but you will be able to be a beacon of what it means to be a spiritually developed person. You will be a lit candle. Now, lit candles do not exist in a vacuum. A lit candle would essentially have to figure out a way to light other candles. And that's what we're doing today. If I can light my candle, it's part of my responsibility to help light other candles. So I'm trying to speak clear, and I'm trying to keep you engaged so you can become a lit candle, so you can awaken to yourself spiritually, so you can know who you are spiritually, and stop fucking around with this shit. Stop thinking that you need to spend money to this shit. And I need y'all to help me out with everything that I've been saying, and I want y'all to be honest. Do you think that spiritual development comes from time, effort, and energy, or do you think it comes with finances? And you can be honest, okay? What do you think it takes for you to get a spiritual awareness for yourself? Time, energy, and effort, or just simple finances? To engage in opposition is to be ground to bits by the insolubility of life's problems and events, right? So we're not even able to get to a fresh lineup, the jewels, the chandeliers until we are losing Isaiah, our baby daddy is smoking crack. So this is for the spiritual beings who might find themselves in a mental asylum, in the projects, down and out. The reason why you might be experiencing being homeless is because you are experiencing the opposition of have-nots and having. And of course, we don't want to stay in one area versus the other area, but find ourselves along the spectrum and maybe in the middle, balancing what it is to be in the real world. You know, people really struggle, substance abuse, mental health, homelessness, that exists. We can't be so rich and so wealthy to just turn our nose up and not do any social service. Right? So, most people spend their life energy supporting the warfare within themselves. Right? So, don't be at war with yourself based upon who you're trying to be and who you truly are, because who you are trying to be really don't matter until you know who you are. And the only way you can really get to know who you are is if you kind of step back from the matrix. So usually the people that step back from the matrix, unfortunately, are the crackheads, the crazy people, the people at the mental asylum, the people in jail. You know, usually spiritual beings go through a period of disconnection from the matrix, but they view it as a sense of shame, right? They view it as a sense of, oh, my life is fucked up. And so now they're fighting against ever being in the low end of the spectrum. So the irony to that is that you stay in the low end of the spectrum because you're not embracing the shadow. Now we're talking about shadow work. So everything you wish not to be. And it's a double aspect to the shadow. I have to always bring about the double aspect because it's easy to get caught up in the negative aspects of the shadow. But one of the things we hide, one of the things we don't show the world is our ability to be divine, because we are not clear on the processes of our divination. We don't even know what it means to be a spiritual being. And to be a spiritual being, one must know their archetype, their model. One must know their animal. So spiritual powers. So if you're not clear on that, you'll suppress that and project that onto other people. But it's not always like I hate this person. It's generally like I love this person. And you don't love this person. You love what your God force energies look like in real terms on a person. But when a person, you ever gave your boyfriend your clothes to wear? What would happen in the chat if you gave your boyfriend your clothes to wear? What would he do? Would he put them on and say, oh shit, girl, I look cute in this? Or would be like, bitch, what the fuck is you doing? I'm not about to wear your clothes. I got my own clothes to wear. So imagine you give your boyfriend your clothes to wear and he says, I am not wearing this. You wouldn't be mad in a realistic sense. You wouldn't be mad that he's not wearing your clothes. You wouldn't be. However, when you project on him your God force energy and he doesn't do the things that you want him to do, you get mad. You get real mad. You get incensed. You hate him. Some of y'all hate y'all baby daddies right now. One's in the chat if you hate your baby daddy or dislike your baby daddy. That's like giving him your clothes and now you don't like him because he can't fit it or he can't wear it. You got to realize that that is your whole problem. Why is you forcing your baby daddy to wear your clothes? And why is you mad that he don't want to wear your clothes? Now, we talking about a paradox. The more you investigate it, the more it becomes true. Why are you giving your baby daddy your ability to be happy or sad? Why are you conditioning your happiness and sadness based upon what this grown, free man is going to do with his time and energy? Or your baby mama decided to get a new man or whatever the case may be. If that's what she decides to do, if she's wrong for that, you got to understand that that is still not an excuse for you to be happy or sad. Even if it's fucked up, because now you're in the realm of crackhead Sally. Now you got to figure out how you got into this position. And 10 times out of 10, how you got in that position is that you've allowed your ego to pull you down and bring you down into an energy so bad that the only thing that can save you is your soul. When life gives you no options, that's because your ego have pulled you down to a level that only your soul can help you. I've been homeless, I've been in prison, and I've been in fucked up situations. And the reason that I've been in these fucked up situations that I'm 38 years old and I'm now realizing is because I stopped giving a fuck about my soul. And I felt like, okay, I did this long enough. Maybe this is the payoff. Now I can just kind of relax and coast. And it always leads to fucked up situations. So if I got some money in my pocket right now, I might decide not to do another video and, go to the dispensary, give me a sack, go to the beach, go get me some food. You do that enough, that money go spin up real quick. Now you back broke, looking around, folding your pockets inside out like, hey, can I borrow $10? So at a certain point, if things going well for you, things going well for me, I have to think, well, shit, that don't really even matter, do it? If things are going well or not, I have to just continue doing the work like I've been doing so I continue to, continue to rise, continue to understand. Whenever we allow our ego to get in control, this is where our lives get grounded into bits. And when our lives get grounded into bits, that brings along spiritual development. Now, what I'm trying to say is don't get your life grounded into bits, but start spiritual development right now. Figure out who you are. To transform opposition into paradox is to allow both sides of an issue, both pairs of an opposites, to exist in equal dignity and worth. So what I'm saying is when you look at the right-hand couple, and I'm using these as signifiers or identifiers of the parts and times where you depressed, fucked up, broke, you don't got love in your life, you don't got no wardrobe, you fucked up. These are the parts of your life that you got to begin to big up and put on a pedestal. Because the same person that was poor and homeless can be rich and famous. The same person who ain't have no motion can have some motion. But when you do not have motion, you go into hide mode. You go into, fucking Groundhog Day. If you don't see your shadow, you just go underground for another year. Like, make it make sense. If you fucked up in life, you need to just be like, I'm fucked up in life. Because as soon as shit go right for you, you want to be like, oh, shit is going right for me. Ha ha. La, la, la. I'll post on fucking YouTube. I'll make a video if I got $2 in my bank account. I'll post on YouTube if I got $20,000 in my bank account. If I got $200,000 in my bank account. If I got $2 million in my bank account. That's how it's got to be. I will be the same way. Y'all don't know. Y'all never know with me. Y'all will never know with me at this point. Y'all don't know the difference between me being fucked up or me having money at this point. Because both pairs of the opposites live in equal dignity and worth. Every time I get on this live, I don't have money in my bank account. Sometimes I get on this live and I got way too much money to be talking on YouTube for free. But both sides are existing in equal dignity and worth. Just an example. So if ever you feeling, well, I don't have my money together, I ain't this, I ain't that, so I'm going to just go in my rabbit hole. Wrong answer. The feelings that you feel, whether you fucked up or got your shit together, have nothing to do with the fact that you are a spiritual being. Does that make sense? One's in the chat if that makes sense. Cause y'all spent money for y'all spiritual development. Don't lie. Y'all gave motherfuckers a lot of money and did very little work behind the money that you gave. If you spent no money and did all of the work, you would be way more advanced. When you hide from your negativity and think you're going to buy your way out of a situation, you just allow a grifter to live another fucking day. You supported a grifter's kids. You helped that grifter get a Mercedes Benz. That's all you did. But when it comes to self-actualizing and what is your spirit animal, we are indigenous aboriginal energies. When you look at all of the Native American tribe, it was Buffalo Bill. It was Little Turtle. We all knew our animal totem. We still them same people. Them aboriginal, indigenous DNA is flowing through our bloodstream right now. And they looking at y'all like y'all some damn fools. Not because you fucking your baby daddy when you know he got another girlfriend, but because you don't know your damn spirit animal. You don't know if you a bunny or not. We began with the discussion of the shadow. The sucking, that's crazy. Dick sucking. No, we began with the discussion of the shadow and how we may well ask the question, what has a paradox to do with the shadow? It has everything to do with the shadow, for there could be no paradox, that sublime place of reconciliation, until one has owned one's own shadow and drawn it up to a place of dignity and worth. So we're not looking at the shadow entirely as you being a crackhead. One of the main aspects of the shadow, the part that you do not reconcile, the part that you do not recognize, is the fact that the kingdom of heaven is within you. The kingdom in heaven is within me. It is within you. It is within your babies. It is within your husband. It is within your baby daddy, your baby mama. But that is a paradox that needs to be reconciled. That is a part of shadow work. Shadow is all of the energies that you do not recognize within yourself that gets projected onto a grifter. And so the grifter stands there in all of his or her spiritual glory, and they're surrounded by people who are gods unto themselves. But instead of me saying to you, you are all gods yourself, I'm saying that I'm a god and I can help you become a god like me. Wrong answer. I can't help you do shit. If you don't want to read a book on your spirit animal, if you don't want to practice witchcraft, you a sorcerer, but you ain't doing no sorcerer shit, there's nothing that I can say that can help you. You a shapeshifter, but you ain't doing no shapeshifter shit. You a witch, but you ain't doing no witch shit. I can't help you. Cow is your spirit animal, but you eating steaks every day. You a whole cannibal out here. Krishna is not happy with you. You out here eating steaks, talking about how good it tasted. Eating raw steaks. If that's not cannibalism, then what is it? Your steak got blood coming out of it. So don't tell me about spirit animals and all you can think about is, man, I can't wait to get home and eat this steak. I can't wait to go home and eat this chicken. Well, Hood, you need protein. Don't animals need protein? Yeah, well, where do animals get the protein from? Do animals eat other animals to get protein? Well, Hood, you got a point there. Maybe I need to research what animals, what plants and minerals give me protein. How about lion's mane mushrooms? One of the richest source in vitamin D other than goddamn the sun. Oh, Hood, let me do my research. Yeah, do your research and stop eating animals. So we laid out the problem. Now we're going to lay out the solution. The kingdom of heaven is within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you. This is from the Gospel of Thomas, verse 3. And it reads as this. Jesus said, if those who lead you say to you, see, the kingdom is in heaven, then the birds of the heaven will go before you. If they say to you, it is in the sea, then the fish will go before you. But the kingdom is within you, and it is outside of you. When you know yourselves, then you will be known, and you will know that you are the sons of the living Father. But if you do not know yourselves, then you are in poverty, and you are poverty. If those who lead you say to you, see, let's do this in modern 2023 terms so we can understand the verse a little bit more clearly. If the grifter says to you, see, the kingdom is in this new shit that I'm developing, then the shit that they developing will be in the kingdom before you get there. If they say to you, you just not listening to my videos enough, this is why you ain't tapped in the way you need to be tapped into. Go watch all of my videos, and then I'm sure you're going to be tapped in. Well, the videos will be in the kingdom before you even get there. If it's a requisite to watch a video, that means that the videos is in the kingdom before you. But the kingdom is not in the videos. The kingdom is not in the products or services. The kingdom is within you. And once you realize that is within you, then it is also outside of you. And the reason that we do it in this order, because we generally would go outside and then try to figure out inside. But we rarely try to figure out what's inside, if we want to be honest. But unequivocally, without a shadow of a doubt, the first things first, the kingdom is within you, then followed by the kingdom being outside of you. See, my Naga, my Nagaris, when you know yourselves at a spiritual level, you will be known. And you will know that you are the sons of the living Father. But if you do not know yourselves at a spiritual level, then you are in poverty, meaning that it's just not going to work. The worst thing for you to get used to is being impoverished. The reason why anyone is impoverished, when you go to the ghetto, when you go to the hood, and you talk to a person, they do not know themselves. The minute we know each other, we know ourselves, we get up out of there. Because we never know if a nigga is going to take our lives or not. Because people can be so blinded by being disconnected from source, being disconnected from their soul, that they will hurt you. Poverty. And you are poverty. When you know yourself, then you will be known, suggests that the grammatically based distinction between subject and object vanishes when we enter the kingdom. Azor, give me a second, y'all. This is a paradox. The subject being you, the object being your spiritual development, is one and the same. But the kingdom of heaven is something that we experience when we recognize this through our spiritual work, through our spiritual development. It suggests that our proclivity to make distinctions with our intellect obscures and the unity of existence. Although this proclivity allows us to create the world, but only in our imagination, it also makes us miserable in it. So, what is this proclivity? When we project our spiritual energy onto another person and they are guaranteed to not do the thing that your soul is going to do. But because it is your God force energy, it throws you for the ultimate of loops, because your God force energy would never act the way that your baby daddy would act. But if you project your energy onto him so strongly and he does the thing opposite to what your God force energy to do, your only option is to be miserable, to be upset, to be hurt. What are you hurt by? He didn't hurt you. You hurt yourself. You gave him your clothes to wear and he didn't want to wear it. You'll never meet a person that wants to wear your clothes. And if you're always projecting on people, you're always going to be miserable, because they are not supposed to do what your God force energy is supposed to do. It is you that is just supposed to immerse yourself in who you are spiritually. So when we project, it also leads us to do some very stupid things. Nothing is more stupid than being mad at your baby daddy for not wearing your clothes. He got his own clothes to wear. He has his own path to follow. And because he's not following your particular path, because she is not following your particular path, it is not your reason to now feel bad because people are not doing the things that you want them to do when you don't even know yourself. You don't even, if you was a queen bee, then you would have just been doing the thing. If you was a wolf, you would have just been doing wolf shit. You would have found your tribe. If you was a bear, you would be in the river right now catching fish. You would be doing it. You would be fishing. You would know what it is that you works well with your soul, works well with your direction. And you would just immerse yourself in that. You wouldn't be looking at the next man on Instagram talking about, oh, I really want to do what he doing. I really want to do what she doing. Oh, if I can't do what he or she doing, I got a reason to feel bad. No, you got a reason to find yourself. Once you find yourself, then you would just naturally do the things that work with your soul and work with your development. There are no conceptual distinctions in the kingdom of God. There is only life. There is only existence. There is only, I wouldn't say positivity because that's a misnomer, but when you walk out into nature and you surround yourself with nature, it's not niggas talking. When the channel is being sent through to you, it's not always sent through to you in words. It's sent through you in deep depressions that can be easily conveyed through conversation. And even more so, when you do research and to figure out why you're even saying what you're saying, it checks out. So simply put, this saying conveys the fact that God did not give us religion, grifters, or groups of spiritual people. We must find our own way. That's because God lives in each and every one of us. One's in the chat if that makes sense to you. If God lives inside of you, could you please put a 1 in the chat, please? If God lives inside of you, please put a 1 in the chat. If you slow to realizing that God lives inside of you, please put 1 in the chat. Have you investigated and experienced the God force energy within inside of you? Or is you around grifters all day? You're around a bunch of spiritual people who's making the spiritual development process hard because they too busy, and now you feel like that's an excuse. Well, she said she was too busy. I guess I'm busy too. I guess I'm busy. I'm too busy to find my spiritual selfhood. You think I give a fuck that you too busy? The shit that I've sacrificed for this shit, I don't care what excuse you give me. I don't care if your damn arm fell off. I don't care. If God is within inside of you, you need to find that. You don't need to be looking for nobody. We must find our own way. And this is what shadow work is. This is what spiritual development is. Finding your own way. Stop projecting your God force energy on me. I ain't shit. I eat ass from time to time. Why do you think I'm your God? I'm not. I purposely show my flaws and me not being the ain't shit ass nigga just so y'all niggas will not project on me. Even if I can make money through y'all projecting on me, it's better if y'all just do the fucking work yourselves. Poverty is not knowing yourself. For even the birds, the fish, the videos, your damn laptop, your phone is going to precede you in the kingdom of heaven than your dumb ass, because you've done everything except know yourself. Knowing yourself is hard. It's difficult. Take a lot of hard work to really get into the science of knowing who you are as a spiritual being. And the reason why it's so hard is because we wouldn't necessarily know how important it is. If anybody could do it, then it wouldn't have no value. It's like a Bentley or a Maserati versus a damn Chevy Impala. If spiritual development was a Chevy Impala, then we all would have had access to it. But it's more like a Maserati. And it's a lot of traps out here. Everything is a trap. The only thing that's not a trap is learning how to love yourself. Loving your soul changes your physical reality. And that is a paradox. And at first, it's not going to make no sense to you. But the more you investigate it, the more you experience with the love of self through soul and spiritual development, the more you will see the world vibrating and resonating to specifically your specific frequency of who you are as a spiritual being. And this is about as much as I can do to help you. The rest is going to be on you. All right. So like the video if you haven't liked the video already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share the video to somebody who this might can help. Maybe you know somebody that's strung out on crack, in a toxic ass relationship, and everything they trying is not working. Well, it's time for them to begin to love their soul. And I guarantee you, if you put in the effort and energy of loving your soul, finding your archetype, figuring out what your spirit animal is, learning about that animal, your life would be tenfold, 10 times better. But you know me, I'm just sending this channel for whoever wants it, needs it. And if it resonated with you, just like the video. Really appreciate y'all. And I'll see y'all on the flip side. Much love. This has been another episode of Hood in the Morning. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Peace.
They ain't rooting for me, they ain't clapping for me. I'm only saying, can somebody just be happy for me? I really hate to say I told you so I bite my tongue, but you know.
Your favorite mystic's favorite mystic. You are traveling with the Hood Mystic. Time to tap in now. Your favorite astrologer's favorite astrologer. You